Sheriff Chapman.
Thank you. Mr. Noble, almost 4 years ago, you met me while I was campaigning for this office and you were working for the former sheriff to express an interest in being a part of the new team if and when I was elected. You were only one of 2 senior leaders in the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office to do this. I took you at your word when I took office and I appointed you to an executive level position. To ensure we were all in agreement on our way forward, I held and still hold daily executive meetings, maintain an open door policy, and engage regularly with our personnel across the board, both deputies and civilians, through quality improvement meetings. I take calls at all hours of the night and day, receive hundreds of emails every day, and have maintained what I believe, from the many administrations that I have served in, the most open, transparent, and interactive administration that I have ever been associated with. Every day, members of the executive staff come into my office to discuss a myriad of issues and concerns. However, in the 3 years you served as an executive member of this administration, I don't recall a single occasion where you came to my office to discuss any issue with me. You never called me on the phone, and you never met with me to provide any innovative ideas, suggestions, or solutions. Yet, you had no hesitation to attack me and members of this administration through numerous unprofessional and hurtful emails and cowardly anonymous blogs by trying to plant negative newspaper stories targeting the very administration you serve, and by chronically complaining about our leadership team to numerous outside entities. These insidious actions are certainly not reflective of ethical leadership. In your mailer to delegates, you state that one of your 5 pledges that you will, quote, establish a new emphasis on ethics in the department beginning with the office of sheriff. How do you justify this comment when you yourself engaged in such unethical behavior?
That's a long question. Mr. Noble, I recognize you for 3 minutes to answer.
I was going to hunt for a question somewhere in here. Well, let me address this issue. Let me address it first by saying, in FY12, and by the way, we do our personnel evaluations by the fiscal year. In FY12, FY13, FY14, I got outstanding employee reviews. Terms like exceptional, terms like outstanding, scores that were almost at the top. Those were the evaluations I got. Those were the judgments by our Lieutenant Colonel, Unit 2, Chris Harmison, signed by this man as a reviewer. I find it curious that through those years, he didn't have an issue with my job performance. He signed off on those evaluations. He was happy with those evaluations. And I disagree that we didn't talk. Plenty of times we talked, plenty of issues that we talked about. We had to. I can't operate as a major and not be able to talk to the sheriff. I'll give you some great examples. I was sick and tired after the first year of signing off on contracts to people who donated to his campaign. And I said so. That was a meeting we had. And was it uncomfortable? Absolutely. It was uncomfortable. But I couldn't stand for that anymore. When a man donates $6,000 of in-kind services to a campaign, and then this agency turns around and gives him a $14,500 contract, I cannot abide by that, nor will I abide by it. Those are some of the discussions we had. But my performance spoke for itself. Now, was it my finest moment when I made some comments in a paper under an assumed name? No. And I'll apologize to you all right now for that. That wasn't my finest moment. Is it born out of the frustration of what I saw at this agency over the last 3 years? Absolutely. It absolutely is. So I don't make any excuses about my performance. In fact, I'm proud of my performance at this agency. I'm not proud just for the last 3 years under this sheriff. I'm proud for the last 27 years. I told you before, a multi-time Valor Award winner. I've saved lives in this county. I put it all on the line for 27 years for this community. And I've earned the respect of this community. Not only within my own agency, but with the men and women who staff this county government, from Tim Hemstreet to General Services, to Capital Construction, to Budget. They know me, they like me, they support me, because I've been here for 27 years. And I have a track record, and it's there for all to see. So I thank you.
Sheriff Chapman, you have 1 minute rebuttal if you choose to use it.
Sure. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, his performance, he had an opportunity to come in like anybody else on the executive staff and talk regularly with us. What he says about contracts, he was in charge of the contracts. If he had an issue with the contracts, he should have actually brought it up and said something to me, which he did not. I was in the consulting world. I know many people in the consulting business, and there is no violation for me to suggest a vendor, but the final decision is actually made by county government and the county procurement office based on the recommendations of Mr. Noble. So if Mr. Noble had problems with any of the people that we contracted with for the time that I was there, it would have been his responsibility to say that to me, or to stop that, or to say something to county administration, and he never did.